Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to another episode of Nerd Up. This week, got Asa Gray.
Yes.
Dalton Anthony.
Yo.
Yeah, I confused them.
I mean, I was here for it.
I'm shook.
I react. You were. Yeah, you got shook. I was. I'm a professional.
On your toes.
We have officially, this is years in knowing that I'm not a professional.
We keep hoping.
One day.
Like Sony. You'll care about consumers one day.
They're the Dodge of electronics. I can say that now.
No, that's fair. Yeah, you moved on to one of those. No, I'm not going to say a joke about it. Birds of Prey got an official trailer.
We were going to make a very similar joke. I can feel it in my bones.
All right, so yeah, Birds of Prey got an official trailer. The live action film.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch it.
I didn't hate it.
I didn't either.
Which is a really big thing for me.
Yeah, because I know how much you hate Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, temper that with the Suicide Squad trailer was fire.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
that's fair.
Suicide Squad trailer. The Suicide Squad hasn't gotten a trailer yet.
I thought it was the other way around.
Nope.
Okay.
No,
I don't know why you're I'm not coming at him. I've just
because this is me
that's
pointing
what
out
they're
the ridiculousness of this fucking naming console.
Well, okay, you censored it.
I did. I self-censored. No, because
the worst way.
It's insane. What do you mean the worst way?
I don't know what he
said.
said.
Okay. Okay.
It started with an F and ended in King, and there's a lot that it could have been. Is he fire trucking?
Fracking?
Yeah, exactly.
Freaking. That one.
That one ticks me off.
Go back to high school, me.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, yeah, Birds of Prey got an official trailer, and yeah, no, the ridiculousness there of Suicide Squad. James Gunn will be the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
So Suicide Squad did have a fire trailer. The Suicide Squad hasn't gotten one yet.
And it'll be
I
substantially
hate
better.
You, DC.
Yeah,
I hate you so much.
I'm sure the new one will be way better.
Yeah.
Well,
In every
even
way.
better, I should say.
Way better. That works.
Well, because again, the trailer was great. And that's what I'm talking about strictly right now.
The trailer, the first trailer we got for Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I was worried, but I'm here for it now. And then it happened. I'm like, I shouldn't have been here for it.
They got us on a trailer.
So yeah, no, Birds of Prey though. The trailer looked good. I'm not gonna say I'm hyped for this film, but it did its job in that I'm teased enough where I'm now interested. You've piqued my curiosity.
After so many movies that I wasn't a huge fan of, I don't think that they have they have not gotten a movie theater ticket out of me yet. They might. That first trailer was pretty good. I didn't hate it. And that's high praise for me because they have a character in there that I literally could not care less about.
Right. No, I remember it killed a pretty fantastic animated film for you. Just her existence.
All right. There was also a very crucial plot point that I was like, that's messed up. And completely screwed over two. Well, no, one reaffirmed a character and the other one just completely crapped over the entire morals. This is Batman killing in the live action movies to me where I'm like, that's not how that would work at all. Not important though.
No, Rick would be into it.
I hate you so much.
Have you gotten caught up on that book yet? Have you?
It's not great.
Okay, no, because
it's a Nightwing book.
No, because I need you to break it down for me because I'm not going to read it. So I need to know the plot points.
Not now. We'll get to that later.
The last time I asked you, you were still pretty far behind.
Yeah, let me go. I'll go back through it to make sure I remember everything. But
Okay.
it's been kind of a foggy haze of why are they doing this.
Don's just reading in hopes that one day he's going to put the suit back on.
Is it? So with this trailer, what do we get out of it? Is it a teaser or is it
It's mostly a teaser. We just got to see a bunch of. We got to see a lot of the characters in the movie.
Who do we get to see?
Nobody in costume other than
that's fine.
Obviously Harley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't tell you who we're actually looking at.
Okay, so it's not like a breakdown of it's Poison Ivy and Katana or whoever it's going to be.
I think we did get to see the Huntress in costume. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I think.
Any sign of Black Mask?
No.
Or Jude Law? Is it Jude Law that's playing Black Mask in this?
I don't remember.
I'm updating all the apps on my phone, so I know there's no way I'm going to get self-service
I'll
right
check
now.
it real quick.
Because this is one of those things I haven't been interested enough to keep track of casting or anything else like that. So we got to see various cast members, but like I said, I don't think we got to see anybody But I want to say that we got to see the Huntress in costume.
I don't think.
But I might be confusing that with seeing the Huntress in something else. because
She did have an exclusive Funko Pop come out this week. The Hot Topic.
No, I want to say it was either that or like a CW thing.
Oh.
Like
So
where
it's-
because I think she's coming back in the CW verse.
Was she in the CW verse?
Yeah, that's
Ewan
what's been in
McGregor
there.
is gonna be
Black Mask.
Black Mask.
Whew.
I do remember that news. 'Cause I remember
Well,
talking
I
about
think
that
they
being
just sold
happy
me a
about
movie
it.
ticket.
I got my random white dude actors confused.
Yeah, but like Jude Law's okay, but Ewan McGregor.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead is Huntress.
Yeah,
Journey
we did get to
Smollett
see
Bell
Mary
is-
Elizabeth Hunt. We didn't get to see her in costume, I don't think, but we did
She was
see
in
her.
it, yeah.
Journey Smollett Bell is Black Canary. Rosie Perez is Renee Montoya. And then Ella J. Basco is Cassandra. Is Cassandra Kane.
But let me
Yeah.
talk
Ooh,
about
Chris
how...
Messina is Victor Zaz.
Yeah, we got to see
can
all
see
of those.
that.
These
people.
are characters that I very much care about.
and I think we got to. I think we saw Harley talking to Victor.
Okay.
Or that might just be that. No, that was in the Harleen book that I was reading.
This is where stuff starts getting dangerous.
I know, right?
There's too many.
There's too much Harley Quinn going on in general. No, I read the Black Label, the Harleen. She had a Black Label book.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
be the super origin story, completely retelling her origin story. I should say.
Didn't also coincide with another origin story going on.
No, that's
Oh.
just another unrelated book featuring Harley Quinn.
Fair enough.
Because Harley Quinn right now
Is there Deadpool?
Yeah, no, they're printing money with Harley Quinn.
Which good. Like you have substantially better characters, like not Harley Quinn, that you could be printing money with. But I get it. Like
I mean, in fairness, like the only characters that they're printing money with right now are Batman and Harley Quinn.
yeah, I just could have saluted up any other character and it would have been fine. But I just remember the New 52 and it was just like the action figure because like I'm pretty sure I got that one for a birthday gift or an anniversary gift or something from Britt. And I was like, because she got me Joker and Harley Quinn at the same time, and it was that super cool face cut off Joker.
Oh yeah.
And then it was big boobs roller skate Harley Quinn, and I'm like, I'm ashamed to have this in my collection.
Yeah, because
So it never got displayed.
New 52 Harley was interesting because that was the post Joker Harley and her gang of Harleys and all that other stuff.
Well, the first
Like, it
Harley
was-
Quinn and the New 52 Joker, or the New 52, the first one, like it was like fun. It was like a normal corset. It was blue and red instead. And then like it went into full.
Well, she became a derby girl.
Yeah, that's when it went like that was the figure I got, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't put this anywhere and not explain it to people.
Yeah, no, I actually remember that arc being pretty entertaining because I was reading it for a while because I actually like Harley Quinn.
We all can't be perfect.
I
understand.
don't like associating myself with Harley Quinn's fan base.
Well, you're not really the fan base.
And but I'm also not really the target audience, or maybe I am. That's unsettling. Anyway,
We need
so
answers.
We got that Birds of Prey official trailer, and it actually, like I said, the trailer was really entertaining. We also got a trailer for the new season of Rick and Morty,
Yeah.
which that I'm really excited about. Did you ever watch season 3, Dalton?
I'm halfway through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, as long as you like your Rick and Morty seasons in halves, they're giving us 5 episodes starting November 10th.
Yeah, I love that they announced that, like, all right, we're renewing Rick and Morty for 70 episodes. It's been 2 years. Here's 5.
Yeah,
How
and
many?
like even in the trailer, they were like half the season you deserve, and all the season we could handle. Like what?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that, but
I like Dan Harmon, but when he
It's-
does stuff like that, I'm like, you're being
It's not
a
on
real...
him. It's on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Like they do this kind of nonsense all the time. Back when I was super into Steven Universe, that show drove me bonkers.
yeah, because that was the one where they did the Steven bombs or whatever, and
They
it was
would-
like,
yeah, they would
here's
do-
random 3, here's 3 brand new episodes. 6 months later, here's 6 new episodes. Nothing in between. Why are you doing this? And not only just 3, not only 3 new episodes, they all air on the same night.
Yeah.
Like, same
they,
week.
they would do like, especially the Steven bombs were the worst. They're like biggest Steven bomb ever. And like I remember there was one period of time like when I was actively keeping up on the show that for 9 days straight, every single night there was a new episode of Steven Universe.
Who?
And then but preceding that, 6 months of nothing. Post that, 6 months of nothing. Like I don't. In the world of streaming, like I like having all of it there. They picked the worst of both.
Has Steven Universe ended?
No, it's still going. I'm
It's
pretty
still
sure.
going?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just.
I mean, there hasn't been anything in 4 years.
Where
but
does it? Where can I stream it if I wanted to get like caught up.
I think Hulu has it.
Hulu maybe. Okay.
Hulu has some of it. I want to say Cartoon.
Because it's
Let me
one
get
of
a
those
little-
things that I do
Don't
wanna
try to
watch.
stream it on Cartoon Network though.
No, I've had really bad luck with that.
You want to explain why not to do that to me?
It just
Cartoon
doesn't
Network,
work.
streaming anything on a Cartoon Network or Adult Swim, even if you have a cable subscription, is a nightmare.
Booty.
Because the problem, like they rotate out episodes, so they only have
Oh.
like they'll have. The last time I tried to watch something on Cartoon Network, I want to say I don't remember what it
You
was.
can do
Well,
Steven
mine was-
Universe on Hulu, by the way.
Mine was I was trying to watch season 3 of Rick and Morty. And at any given time, I could watch episode 1, 3, 4, and 8.
Yeah. That
And
kind
then
of
like
shenanigans.
and then you go back next week and then it's like, okay, now I can watch 1, 2, 3, and 8. And just like it seems like it's at random.
So it looks like you can do all of Steven Universe. Also, 52 episodes in season 1.
Of Steven Universe.
Yeah, because then this is some Rick and Morty stuff right here. 52, 22, 28, 24.
But those are like 15-minute.
Yeah, they're all 15-minute episodes.
Oh, fair
that's
enough.
the
I
other,
didn't know that.
that's
I've
the
never
other
seen
really unfortunate thing about Steven Universe. They crammed a whole lot into those 15 minutes, but like it was annoying that I would have to wait 6 months to get six 15-minute episodes in a row, and then wait another 6 months. Like,
Yeah, that is really
Please.
messed up now that you think of, like, whenever I start mathing that in my head, well, I'm like, that's really only 52 is like really only like 26 episodes.
yeah,
And then the 24 episodes, F you, sir.
yeah, and I mean it's good stuff, but I could not handle that release schedule, so I just stopped watching it. I'm like, I'll one day when I've got like a massive backlog to get caught up on, like I'll jump back.
Oh, you
in
did
on
that
it.
like I do comic books.
Oh.
I need 10 issues of a book before I start reading it. It's bit me on the tail more times than I'd like to admit.
Yeah, that's fair. So either way, yeah, we're getting 5 episodes of Rick and Morty November 10th because screw you, Cartoon
Reasons.
Network.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm excited to get any. Like
Same.
honestly, but
I desperately want more Rick and Morty because I love that show.
if anything, like I wish we had a time frame of when that was coming, like when the other half would be coming.
Yeah. But instead, it's Cartoon Network. They'll tell us, because this is the same thing. This is out of nowhere. Guys, guess what? In a month, 5 episodes. Sweet.
Still better than like, hey, here's an episode today. When's the rest of the season coming out?
I got like 6 months.
Oh,
Huh?
that was awful.
Yeah, that was season 3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was season 3.
They did the April Fools.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because they did it for 24 hours. Didn't they?
No, they're like, hey, season 1 of Rick and Morty premiering tonight. And
Yeah,
then they
they-
drop the first episode, and then it's like, okay, when does it air? It doesn't. Like episode 2
that was
is
the
like
April Fool's joke.
yeah, episode 2 is like 6 months later.
Yeah, but didn't they do like a 24-hour thing at one point?
They
With
may have
just
done
that
like a,
episode?
I don't
That
remember
doesn't sound
that.
familiar, but
But I mean, it could have. All right, so moving past it, here we got Disney is working on a new live-action Inspector Gadget film.
okay, question. Why? For who?
That cartoon hasn't been around forever.
I don't have
excuse you,
answers.
The cartoon doesn't matter because no one cares about the
Oh,
cartoon.
please tell me you're not talking about the Matthew.
We
Broderick.
already have the masterpiece.
Oh no.
He is being a
Matthew
real,
Broderick version.
real lovely human right now.
Bring him back.
Why?
Why not? Why are they making it?
Oh, the movie was so bad.
don't
Like
know
I
if I
remember, even as a kid, I loved Inspector Gadget as a
Yeah,
kid.
because the cartoon was baller.
And then I remember like that movie released, and I was
Go
like,
Gadget plot device. Like, no, just get out of here.
I mean, I also like Scooby Doo a lot. What does that tell you about me?
The cool thing about Inspector Gadget is that the voice actor for Dr. Claw went on to voice Noob Saibot in Mortal Kombat 11.
Huh? Well,
I don't think that's true, but it's very much that try hard, like what a third grader thinks Satan sounds like.
You know, we definitely got there was a lot of voices like Claw back in the 90s and late 80s. But anyway, so yeah, we're getting a new live action movie. Do you know Michelle Trachtenberg was the little girl, Penny, in that live action movie?
I'm gonna Google Michelle Trachtenberg because
I don't know who
The
that
really
is.
hot chick in Euro Trip.
I didn't see Euro Trip.
I say I've also not seen Euro Trip.
Yeah, I have no idea who this person is.
Well, somebody out there.
She was also Harriet the Spy.
She was.
Good
Listen.
for her.
Anyway, yeah, somebody out there, please hit me up on Twitter or Facebook. Like, I know other people know Michelle Trachtenberg. I think she was also in a few episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Gossip. Her top 3 credits on Google are Gossip Girl, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Euro Trip.
Yeah,
And then 17 again, Ice Princess, Harriet the Spy, and Take Me Home Tonight.
she's extremely attractive. Is the point? Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'm not talking about Penny. I'm talking about her in Euro Trip and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Maybe less Buffy the Vampire
So I've
Slayer.
definitely
She might have been.
seen. So looking at more pictures, I have definitely seen her, but not in any of these things. And now it's bothering me that like, no, I know who this is, but apparently for nothing that I should.
I liked the movie Euro Trip back in the day. Boy, like I
wonder if it holds up.
I guarantee it doesn't.
There's gonna be like 30,000 jokes that we're gonna be like,
It's kind of like when I tried to rewatch The New Guy.
Oh man, don't tell me that. I loved that movie.
You know Zooey Deschanel's in that movie?
Word?
Yeah, you remember the girl with the hairy armpits? It was Zooey Deschanel.
Well, now I'm sad. It's the same thing. Remember the show or the movie Punks? It was like the kid one with the group.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, Jessica Alba was in that. Huh. And I was like, oh, I've always had a crush on her. Like, young me to old me. Like, still now. Like, oh, yeah, that checks out. I rented it from like a movie store like 3 years ago. Hell, it might have been Hastings. And I was like, Jessica Alba's in this. Well, that checks every box that I'm like, that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, no, I also loved New Guy back in the day. I rewatching it because they added to Netflix. I was reminded of how homophobic the late 90s and early 2000s were, because that movie is very representative of that. Good God. Anyway, moving on here. Inspector Gadget, yeah, Joker. I meant to see it this weekend. I didn't. Did either of you see it this weekend?
I know Shannon loved it.
Yeah, no, Shannon loved it. Like he absolutely enjoyed
His
that
exact
movie.
words when he came into the store last night for Hell in a Cell was, every superhero movie, just wrap it up. It's never going to be topped, which I was like, that's a little overkill, but it's Shannon being Shannon.
Yeah.
We're going to say full price for him.
Shannon definitely thinks it's worth full price. The reviews have been very mixed from big critics.
Really?
The words that I keep seeing a whole lot are pretentious, which, in fairness, I've seen a bunch of like douches comment on Scorsese's stuff before as pretentious.
Yeah, it's a Martin Scorsese movie.
But
There's not going to be a.
It's Scorsese with Joaquin Phoenix. Pretentious is a word I'm expecting to see.
Yeah, that's entirely fair.
Yeah.
But for some people, I guess it was to the movie's detriment. I still need to see it. I'm gonna see it.
Yeah.
Even if Todd Phillips, I think, is that dude's name.
Yeah. He's an idiot.
Yeah, he is a dum-dum.
Paging Dr.
Yeah.
Like, I can't make those jokes anymore, so comedy's dead.
Oh,
Imagine because The Hangover 3 sucked.
Yeah,
I'm not allowed to make comedy anymore because it's,
woke culture is the reason that Hangover 2 and Hangover 3 were bad.
The edit of that was so much funnier to me for some reason. And that's when I realized I was growing as a human being because I was like in high school. Because I heard both versions. And I'm like, oh, paging Dr. Douchebag. For some reason, it's the alliteration. It makes it more fun. The other one's just mean.
Also, like, I did see a reply to that made me laugh a whole lot.
Was it not woke?
So it was somebody was talking about like in talking about woke culture, making it to where you can't make comedies anymore. And then he says that while there is an award-winning picture starring Taika Waititi about him playing a young Hitler in a comedy.
in a coming-of-age film.
In a coming-of-age film. Yeah, no, like...
And that's why Shannon can shut up about Taika Waititi.
I like the one that... Don't you mean me?
No. Shannon was downing Taika Waititi one day.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, on the Thursday show.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Shannon was talking a lot of smack about Taika Waititi.
But I like the response that I liked. I think it was Patton Oswalt, or maybe it just mentioned Patton Oswalt. But they were just like, "Oh, well, sorry to hear about it," and then they proceed to list like every comedian going like Trevor Noah, John Oliver, like everybody who's making fantastic comedies, but.
Yeah, because he also did a list of like fantastic comedy films.
Yeah.
That have released in the last several years.
Managed to do it without using racist and homophobic slurs.
Yep. But yeah, no, it's woke culture is the reason you're not funny.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Can't be funny.
Anyway, moving past it here. It did set a record for October, which I looked at that record and I was like, oh, October is a slow month for movies.
Yeah, and on top of just like, I feel like this movie with the buzz around it, with the whole like, oh, it's a dangerous quote unquote film, like I feel like that helped it a lot. Like it got its own level of viral marketing. It
did a little bit, and honestly, so this is one of those things. Like, I only in the Disney era am I going to say something like this. It only opened in 93.5 million this weekend.
Oh, it didn't even crack 100.
Did not crack 100 million domestic.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, only in the Disney era.
Might as well just be straight to DVD. Not Blu-ray. DVD.
Oh, that means Manny can watch it.
Venom held the previous record at 80.3. And I was like, yeah, no, October is a slow month for movies, apparently.
I'm a little surprised it beat Venom.
Yeah, I am too, and handily.
Just for how successful that. Well, granted, I guess a lot of that came from international market too.
Yeah, because this is important to note that it's domestic only opening weekend.
Because I feel like this isn't going to have the international market that a lot of traditional superhero films have, because it's not like
I would
a
agree
spectacle.
with that sentiment. Yeah. Because like a lot of the reason that in the international market these things do well is because of the visual spectacle of it, not so much.
That's why like Fast and the Furious does crazy numbers.
Yes.
International.
Because they're not that concerned about like deep plot that is especially like embedded in American culture. Like it's not. I don't think it's going to have that wide audience appeal that Venom did. Which, not to say that Venom is a better movie. We're just strictly talking to the international success of the film.
Right. Yeah, with it being a monster. Like, 'cause my argument was going to be like, I feel like Joker's a bigger comic book name, but I think with the kind of movie this is, that's not going to matter.
Yeah, as long as they're marketing it for what it is.
Oh, yeah, because they could just market this as, like, if they just market this as a Hot Topic Joker movie, it would destroy Venom. But they're not marketing that way.
Well, I meant more of like a international sense of like they could market it if this was some sort of like if they put every potential action scene for however many there are. Because again, I haven't seen it. I don't even know.
Yeah, because my understanding is this is not a very action-packed film.
This is a character.
Yep.
It's a character drama, not
with action in it,
right?
And like some great action scenes, but it's not going to be stuff that, like I said, I don't think it's got that
really thrown a trailer. Like there's a reason that the trailers were all about the character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. We got the Justice League Dark animated movie is getting a sequel. So this is good news for Trevor. He really liked the first one. So did I.
I haven't seen the first one.
So real quick sidebar. When I was ranting and raving, and Trevor, if you are listening to this, I completely forgot when I was gushing about James Tynion IV getting the Batman book.
Yes.
James Tynion IV is who's doing Justice League Dark.
Yeah.
I don't know how I forgot to mention that, but
that would have extra sold Trevor.
Yeah. So.
Because we were trying to sell him on Detective. Yeah, I just didn't even think about it. Yeah.
All of the other awesome stuff, which I'm so far behind on. I actually think I might have time this week set aside to just
get some comic books read in.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, we can talk about comic books after the show. Mm-hmm. Justice League Dark. So yeah, animated movie. I really liked the first one. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. I know Trevor did too, mostly because it had Constantine in it, and Trevor's all over anything with Constantine in it.
I remember liking it, but I don't remember much about it. So I'll probably end up watching it, like if you pick it up or something.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've got the first one. I can throw that up on Jesse Flicks or something at some point.
Are these animated movies coming up on the DCU?
They usually do.
They do come up there, but it's later.
Okay, it's not like a day and date thing, like with Game Pass or something.
Let me check
because I keep waiting for Batman Ninja Turtles to go up on there. It may be by now.
Oh, do you want to just borrow the DVD, and then you can just put it up on Jesse Flicks?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
I'm not gonna put it on Jesse Flicks though because I don't own it.
Oh yeah.
But I will borrow it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be great. I would love to borrow it.
I forgot how Jesse Flicks works. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, moving on though. It's getting a sequel in 2020 called Apocalypse. So it could be fun. I
just got X-Men flashbacks.
Yeah, Apocalypse. Speaking of the DC Universe, the Harley Quinn show is going to debut on November 29th. We finally have a
first thing that pops up.
A release date for it. Titans.
No, it was actually Harley Quinn. It changed last second. That's what my screen said, and whenever I turned it around, I realized it was wrong. I'm looking up the animated movies that's on DC Universe right now.
Okay, yeah, because I know there for a while because I was looking for it like day and date, and then I looked for it for like 2 weeks after, and it still wasn't there. So I was like, I'll just, and then I've forgotten about it completely.
Internet is not working the way it should.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So yeah, DC Universe's Harley Quinn, the animated series starring Kaylee Cuoco.
Yes,
Cuoco.
I think it's Cuoco.
The hot one from Big Bang Theory, as Harley Quinn. Boy, I should not objectify women like that.
I wasn't gonna.
Whenever you said that, I was gonna be like, what's the one dude's name that was on Roseanne? I can't think of his name. The dude.
John Goodman.
Oh no, not John Goodman.
The one that's like the main character.
John Goodman.
Darlene's boyfriend.
The one that was on Roseanne and Big Bang Theory.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Darlene's boyfriend.
The only
he's
person
Leonard
that mattered
in Big
on
Bang Theory.
Jesus, I'm getting the name.
The only person that mattered on Roseanne was John Goodman. So
that is still accurate. No, it's not Roseanne anymore. Now it is The Connors. The Connors is actually a pretty enjoyable show too.
Is it starring John Goodman?
It is.
Well, then just say that.
John Galecki.
I get a lot of people.
John Galecki. Okay.
I get a lot of people work on that show or in that show, but
also that dude is like, if you were just like the hot one from Big Bang Theory, I would be like Johnny Galecki because he's not a bad looking dude.
Did you see him on Big Bang Theory though?
Yeah, well, they made him not look attractive.
But they had to work for it.
They worked for it.
They put some effort into it
because he also looks weird on The Connors.
Well, I think it's because he's getting older, but like, there was like a time post Roseanne, like pre Big Bang Theory, I was like, that's a good looking dude. Like they made him look goofy. Maybe my taste in men is off. I don't know. That could be a thing too.
I mean, whatever.
You're gonna talk about making someone look goofy.
I'm not talking
pot and kettle.
No, because the difference is that he doesn't make himself look goofy. He just.
I exist.
You make some choices in your day-to-day life.
He does kind of have a man bun.
Yeah, you could alter. What was the story we were talking about? This got away from us.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
November
No, I remembered it.
Kaylee Kuko, that animated series. That's going to be November 29th is the official release date for it. All right, this next Sports Show podcast brought to you by our friends at Villainous Grounds in Perryville, Missouri. So we got a new Star Wars ongoing. I told y'all it was going to happen. I told y'all not to worry. The Star Wars comic book is not over. They're just doing something new. And they are. Charles Soule will be writing it with Jason Sayes on art. That'll be out in January 2020. It will take place, though, in a different timeline. It's going to be between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It's going to explore that time period, which I'm cool with.
How much time was between those movies?
I mean, a pretty significant amount. Because remember that Empire leaves off with Luke getting rescued after his hand gets chopped off.
Empire to Jedi. I flipped the two.
Oh, okay.
Like New Hope to Empire
is like.
Yeah, it was like
that one's pretty quick over.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah. But Empire to Jedi is that's a pretty good time.
That's a longer.
Jump.
I mean, it's not a crazy amount of time, but it's
a couple months. Enough time to make a difference.
Yeah,
I mean, it's enough time for them to get the Death Star back up and going.
They might have already been working on it.
Are we really doing this Clerks conversation?
They could have already had it started.
Yeah. But either way, like
those contractors didn't deserve to die.
Because he came back with the robo hand and
I'm sorry, if
knew how to use it.
Right.
That took some time to figure it out.
Well, he just used the Force. We've established that can make a space janitor really powerful.
And he also showed up like claiming to be a Jedi Master now.
That was the most baller moment. He just shows up. I mean, he very much gets called out right away for it.
Oh, yeah, he does.
But like right before he falls into that pit, he is the baddest mofo in the galaxy.
I was going to say, like, what council awarded him they told him he could sit probably.
I mean, he's the only Jedi. So,
yeah, so by proxy, he is the master.
I mean, he did have like Yoda and Obi-Wan like hanging out with him ghost form.
Yeah, but those ghosts were lying to him. They were inflating his ego, being like he's our only hope.
Well, I mean, now we know they were apparently just lazy. They could have done so much more, apparently.
Burn the books, I guess.
Only on the island. We're not going to talk about this. We're not going to talk about it on this show.
He's outnumbered.
So, Charles Soule and Jesus Sayes are going to be doing like those. That's the creative team. That's the timeline. New creative teams have been announced for several Marvel upcoming books. We had New York Comic Con, folks. I'm not going to talk about all the news out of New York Comic Con. I want to preface this.
But the only important thing is Otis is getting an Elite. And you're gonna need to get it.
Was that a New York Comic Con?
Yeah, that was the Mattel announcement.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, I'm not gonna buy this figure. But moving on from it, though, there was a ton of comic book news. I'm not gonna cover all of it because, again, there was a ton of it.
That would have to be a show.
Yeah, like New York Comic Con, easily there was enough information in there for an entire show. So we got some new creative teams for several of the bigger Marvel books. We got Donny Cates and Nick Klein are taking over Thor in January 2020.
That one really surprises me. That Jason Aaron is even leaving Thor just in general.
Oh, yeah, because he's been on there for so long.
Yeah.
But I know this is going to be a completely new Thor storyline, like, because Jason Aaron's the story he wanted to tell is finally over.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Donny Cates is going to be picking it up, which makes sense to me. Like we got a picture of the cover. Thor's looking all cosmic-y. It's kind of interesting. Like I'm interested to see where they're going with it. Wolverine was announced to get his own ongoing, which everybody kind of saw this coming with.
Say least surprising announcement ever.
Yeah, because we got the whole listing. We did a couple weeks back, the entire listing of all the upcoming X-Men books, their creative teams and their rosters, of which there are many. And every single time they talk about it, like, yeah, these are the books we're doing, minus the solo books that are absolutely coming. Because there are solo books that are absolutely coming. Because that's the X-Men.
Every time.
And I'm fine with it for the most part.
They did 2 different Iceman runs during the Slash run of teams.
They did.
I bought them both.
One for Little Iceman and one for Older Iceman. No, both of them were Older Iceman.
Both of them were the Older Iceman. Just Little Iceman had a part in both of them.
Right.
I'm not going to third wheel myself. That's still the greatest line in comic books. I'm not going to third wheel myself.
Yeah, like I said, I say Little Iceman. It was past Iceman, past and present. Because X-Men. So yeah, Wolverine is getting his own ongoing February 2020. Benjamin Percy and Adam Kubert is the creative team on that book.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll see. I like Kubert on art.
Yeah, I'd say it'll look pretty.
Yeah. Al Ewing and Juan Cabal are going to be on Guardians of the Galaxy. And this creative team I really, really like. Al Ewing is the one doing Immortal Hulk right now.
Oh, Lord.
I'm sure that it's not going to be...
Immortal Hulk?
Yeah. Because what is... Boy, that book. Very interesting.
I don't understand it.
Horrifying.
I'm too stupid for Immortal Hulk.
And Juan Cabal is that's the one doing the art on Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Okay.
He does a bunch of other stuff too, but like his art is solid.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, no, that's a solid creative team.
And this is the Guardians of the Galaxy that's going to be like completely like this is the fallout from that huge giant galactic event that's coming up.
Yeah, whatever's happening like right now
because
like,
we're
super out of everything going on there. Because like I remember them listing like the books that are involved in this event. I'm like, man, I haven't touched any of those books in years.
Yeah, I don't know any of these characters anymore.
Because it was like Guardians, Silver Surfer, Black, Thanos.
Yeah, it was a bunch of
like
bunch of cosmic characters.
Yeah, like characters you're like, yes, they are all in like the same grouping. They're having a big crossover event. And I don't know nothing about what's going on.
Nope.
I'm having enough trouble keeping up with like X-Men right now. I don't need
that's one of the
cosmic
things I'm
excited
over there. I think that's what I'm going to do Saturday before the show.
Get caught up on
Chaffee.
X-Men.
Yes, I'm going to sit down and get caught up on X-Men because still the only thing I'm caught up on is Batman.
I'm actually caught up on Batman now too.
We need to talk then.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so we got Al Ewing, Juan Cabal. Like I think that's gonna be cool. It's certainly the cover we got just has Star-Lord and Rocket on it, so I don't know like who else is where because again out of the loop. But I might check this out because I like the creative team a lot. Because again, Immortal Hulk is phenomenal. Holy crap, that book is good.
Is he staying on that and he's just also writing Guardians, or is Immortal Hulk ending?
I imagine he's doing both.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything about Immortal Hulk ending. It's selling...
Or getting a creative shift. Not ending,
we might get a creative shift. I hope not. I don't think there's... Al Ewing clearly has an idea for what he's doing here. And I don't want to see him like pass that over to somebody else.
Indestructible Hulk.
Oh,
Mark Waid clearly had an idea of what he was doing.
Yeah, and then they wanted to do something completely different with Hulk in an unrelated book. And
is that what happened?
Yeah, and that's what shifted everything.
Comics.
Yep. I mean, it's the same thing with like She-Hulk. She-Hulk got the big shaft with she had her entire like arc was about like her, going through PTSD, recovering from like all the nonsense that happened in Civil War II. And she was turning into like the big angry gray Hulk that she had no control over, which was new for her. And by the end of it, she resolved everything. Like she found peace in herself and all that other stuff. She was able to do regular green She-Hulk, but then they didn't want to take regular Hulk out of Immortal Hulk yet. So they just turned Jen Walters back into mindless Smash Hulk so that she could be in Avengers and fill that Hulk role. It's just really unfortunate.
I think it's a Legend coming out soon.
She-Hulk?
Gray Hulk. Gray
She-Hulk.
Yeah.
She had like the green veins and stuff.
I think. Well, they usually don't go that detail.
Fair enough. Because, I mean, that was one of the cool things with, like, how her Gray Hulk looked. She had, like, green glowing veins and stuff like that whenever she hulked out.
They do some cool stuff with Hulk, but then, like, it starts to become that very one-dimensional Hulk character where it's just, like, you either get this really cool Hulk character with, like, some background and some, like, purpose, and then you just get, like, Hulk smash, which doesn't really work if it's not in the team book, in my personal opinion.
No, I mean, that's every time that Hulk is in Avengers. It doesn't matter what Hulk has been doing up to that point. Hulk enters Avengers as this just mindless
big green
beast
dummy.
Hulk needs to be there to smash things and is only ever as smart as the plot needs him to be. And I always dislike that about Hulk in Avengers. Especially when you have like phenomenal like Hulk runs in existence.
Because he wasn't like that. Like the Champions for all the really cringy dialogue.
That was also Cho.
Well, it was Cho, but like they at least gave us a Hulk that
Cho was in full control of his Hulk.
Yeah, and it was fun. Like you had a Hulk that could do that, but it was like necessary.
I also really like how Immortal Hulk has addressed like the Hulks, like all of the different personalities that he's had.
Have they?
Yes.
The only one that I know of, which you might be farther. Are you only reading what's on Unlimited?
No, I couldn't help myself. I got caught up.
So does that just come later then?
I don't remember how much later.
The only one that I remember is while they are still in the Down Below.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was called, and Hulk is talking to Bruce, and it's someone had to. That line.
Yeah.
Very powerful line. Very, very good line. But I'm just like, what? No, that's none of that. No.
Yeah, because I know at the very least, like,
and that's the only time that I've really seen them address the relationship between Hulk. Which, like I said, I'm 6 months behind in the run, so.
Right, because I know at the very least,
at this point, I might be more.
You know of 2 Hulk personalities where you're at the very least.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's a discussion.
Yeah, that's fair. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in that comic book. It's real good, guys. I highly recommend it. Iron Man 2020. They've been talking about this. They're working towards it with Arno Stark calling back to an ancient plot line where you had an Iron Man that came from the distant future of 2020 to
God.
to save the day. Well, now it's 2020, obviously, so we're getting an Iron Man 2020 run. They want to actually create this character.
Is it Arno still?
Yeah, it's still Arno. Apparently, that's something that they're working on in Slott's Iron Man run.
I was gonna say that's pretty interesting because Arno is a part of Dan Slott's run.
Yep.
In a way.
Apparently he's been building since Slott picked up the book. He has been building a little bit towards this Iron Man 2020 run.
There's been I won't get into it because again I'm like 6 months behind on that, if not more.
Fair enough. Well, this is going to be a 6-issue series from Dan Slott and Christos Gage.
That makes more sense.
Yes, yeah, it'll be going simultaneously with Iron Man.
Okay, so it's not like a crossover or an event.
Yeah, no, it's just it's a 6-issue series.
Okay.
We don't know a whole lot more information about it.
That makes a lot more sense than like if it was going to be an ongoing. So
yeah, it is not an ongoing. Marvel is going to launch a Warhammer comic book line in 2020. This is going to be big news for Shannon. I'm sure he's going to be real excited about this because he's a huge fan of that Warhammer lore. I'm actually kind of stoked about it because I also like Warhammer lore, not near as much as Shannon does, but
it's interesting.
It is really interesting. Space with magic and elves and all sorts of stuff. It actually is what Warcraft and StarCraft are based on. Warhammer. Yeah. Because they pitched that idea to them, and Blizzard's like, eh.
I remember them having at the Poplar Bluff con from a couple years ago. They had a bunch of Warhammer stuff, and Shannon was very intrigued. And then I think we both had to say on more than one occasion, don't.
Well, yeah, no, like every time we go anywhere and look at games and stuff like that, like any shop that sells them, like I've got to tell myself this too. And like Ace and I have had conversations about this. We're like, we both want to get into Warhammer. But that is an expensive hobby. If you're out there and listening around, you're already into Warhammer and you have all the figures, please invite me over to your house so that I can play.
Actually, no, do me one favor. I like Jesse too much for him to go broke. FaceTime him.
No, it's fine. Like I'll play the game. I just want to try it.
Oh,
I want to try the game. I don't want to pay $4,000 to try the game.
It's like the Diablo style game that they announced.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh no. I need that to not be good.
You don't want that. You don't want that to lead somewhere.
Yeah.
You don't want to start tripping down that rabbit hole.
That could awaken something that doesn't need to be awoken.
All right. So moving past it here, we got Star, the character introduced in Captain Marvel #8, this most current run. She's getting her own 5-issue series written by Kelly Thompson, no artist yet, in January. So I guess I'm actually an issue or 2 behind in Captain Marvel, but I've really been enjoying this run, and she hasn't been a significant enough character to warrant a 5-issue series. Because I think I'm actually only 1 issue behind.
So far,
yeah, which is one of those things. I guess it kind of spoiled for me. Guess what? She's playing a significantly larger role, and she might be a good guy. Because I was convinced she was a bad guy. Bad guy pretending to be good. Either way, we'll find out. That sounds cool though. We also got 6 new one-shots. They're bringing back the End line of comic books. It's a bunch of one-shots. Basically, it tells a story of the death of a character. So it's in the future. It's non-canonical, and just explores how that character dies, whether it be by natural means or in the field of battle, what have you. And we're getting Captain Marvel by Kelly Thompson and Jorge Jonti. We're getting Doctor Strange by Leah Williams and Felipe Andrade. We're getting Miles Morales by Sadal Ahmed and Damian Scott. Getting Captain America by Eric Larson. He will be doing art as well. And we're getting Deadpool by Joe Kelly and Mike Hawthorne. Oh, and then Venom by Adam Warren and Chamba.
All new Marvel 26.0.
No, there's just one-shots.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I had said before.
My bad.
Because this is the one that we talked about on the pre-show that you could go to patreon.com/Podzilla1985 for $1 and get. And it was the one where these are the books that explain how all of these characters will die. So it's the stories of the deaths of these characters.
I was in the phone call during that. Okay.
So
then you're on your phone when I was talking about that before.
Oh, snap.
My bad.
Yeah,
it's been an interesting day.
Just gotta pay attention.
I know. I'm sorry.
These could be interesting as what if style stories.
Yeah, I mean that's what
honestly,
they are.
The Deadpool one is the one I'm most interested in, just because. How do you kill someone with that healing factor?
Right.
Deadpool kills Deadpool.
Yeah, kind of like it'd have to be something like that.
I actually, as much as I don't like Deadpool, the Deadpool kill
the Deadpool kills run was fun.
Any of them, Kill Illustrated, all those were fun.
I actually Deadpool Kill Illustrated.
That was
one
the
of my
best
favorite
one.
things in comic books.
That was hands down the best one.
That was super fun.
The only thing that makes me wary of this is we kind of got something like this already, in that Batman annual.
Oh yeah.
And it was so much better. I will bet money that story was so much better than any of these are going to be. And I don't mean that as a slight against any of these creative teams, because I'm sure they will tell very interesting stories, and there's a solid chance I might end up actually picking some of these up. But
yeah, no, that Batman annual was real good. That was real good.
Was that one recent?
It was the Tom King run.
Yeah, it was in the Tom King run. It was before the end of the wedding.
Oh, well then I might actually have it.
It was before the wedding, because it was like old Bat and Cat.
Yeah.
Like living their life together.
Let me look.
And then there's, just this
real good.
There's a doctor's visit, and then
that was
multiple
one of the
conversations that happen, and it's just like.
That was one of the books that Asa got real mad at me about, not warning him about.
Yeah. I remember sending you the Snapchat of this page and calling you several words. We're not nice.
Yep, because I did not warn him at all. So yeah, that's what these are, one-shots. Like, they could be interesting, like they usually are, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. They're just fun little books. They mean nothing. All right, so we got a little bit of Image comic news. I know I don't spend a whole lot of time talking about third parties, and I feel a little bad about that because, yes, there are comic books outside of the main two. Tons of really good and interesting ones.
Something is killing the children. You should all be reading it.
I tried. I can't find number 1 anywhere. I couldn't even find it on Midtown.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
That's never a good sign.
I mean, it's a good sign. It means it's sold well, but
I hope so.
Well, okay, I could find it on Midtown. I could only find the 4th printing.
Mm-hmm.
And because of who I am as a human.
No, yeah, it doesn't count.
All right, so yeah, Sex Criminals. It's an Image comic. It's coming back in January. With the original creative team, Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky are both coming back for a final storyline.
Okay, yeah, I've read that before. I had to think about it. It's like I didn't know if I've read that book before.
It's real good stuff.
I haven't read it. It's just one of those things that I know I love Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky, and the premise of it is just bonkers.
Yeah.
And it's one that I've always wanted to read. But I'll need to find like a collection of it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you can still find it in trade pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like obviously the original issues are impossible to find because that book got super popular, and they got real expensive. Worst part about trying to buy like anything third party, because it's not one of the big two, they're not
limited printings.
Very limited printings. Comic shops also don't order very many because they don't just sit on the shelf. They might order 1 or 2 extra copies of something if the creative team is huge.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, typically at your local comic shop, they might be able to get you a copy of it. But like Asa said, most of the time really limited prints, just because. I mean, it's hard to like mass produce any of those comics when you have no idea how well they're going to sell. Because if it doesn't have a big name superhero in it, even Marvel and DC when they try new IPs, that's taking a risk. You never know how much it's going to sell for. Issue 1 usually pretty good. Issue 2 significantly less so. Anyway, and then Saga is also coming back. They mentioned a bunch of other Image books, but those are the only 2 that I had heard of previously. So the other ones I had never heard of, and I figure if there's anybody that it would be news for that they're coming back, they already know about it.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, and you're absolutely right.
Because even like Saga has that kind of diehard fan base that they are aware.
Yeah, Saga has a huge fan base, and Saga is also massively popular. And I'm sure there's some people that have been like me, like Saga was just recommended to me, and I read. I got the first 2 trades, and they were really good, and I haven't read any more of it. But that's one of those things. Like I knew about Saga, I did not know it was coming back until I was doing research for the show. But I'm sure there are a bunch of Saga diehard fans that, they got an update immediately on their phone, like, Saga's coming back. Sweet. So, yeah. A bunch of other books, like I said, are coming back from Image. So if there's an Image book that you're a huge fan of that's coming back, or that you want to be coming back, I'm sorry I don't have that list here for you. But that list is, they just straight up posted a picture of the list and the creative teams. So you guys can find that. This next portion of the podcast brought to you by our friends at Press Start to Join. You find all their content, ps2jshow.com, including the social media links and past episodes. So Red Dead Redemption 2 is officially coming to PC on November 5th, and it was confirmed it's coming to Stadia as well, but not the...
we just don't have a release date because we still haven't gotten our release date for Stadia yet.
How's that Founders Patch treating you?
I mean, it's not after November. If it was after November and we still haven't gotten anything, then I'd be
very concerned.
But I mean, I'm sure we'll get an announcement here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, and fortunately, like they already have all the hardware made, so it just has to. Yeah, they just need to send it out, and then they've got to let them know when the service goes live.
If anything, I'll get the email for getting my name and stuff set before that, even probably.
No, it is surprising.
But that rolls out in tiers. But I'm most surprised at the fact that like. Red Dead Redemption 2 coming to PC at all was a question mark.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that was never even fully confirmed. Like I don't think Red Dead Redemption 1 ever came to PC.
No, I don't think it did.
And it's one of those things where it's up in the air. So the fact that it's coming to PC is huge, but also that it would be coming to this new platform, which makes me question like which one, like that's cool because that's a huge online component that could be coming to Stadia as well, but I also am now curious if Grand Theft Auto has a chance of coming to Grand Theft Auto 5 has a chance of coming to Stadia.
That would be neat. I could see them doing it because Grand Theft Auto still pulls money for them.
Yeah, it's still in like the top, like every month the top 10 best-selling games. Grand Theft Auto is always on there.
Jeez.
Yeah, I completely believe that. I know, like every time it runs a sale, like it goes in top selling on Steam, and I just see it like, all right, this game has been $5 before. How are there still people that don't own it?
This many people.
Yeah, right. Like this many people where it is charting.
And honestly, like I have to think it's the people who are buying next-gen systems that hadn't yet. And that's like one of the purchases that goes with it is, I want to play Grand Theft Auto, so.
Also, Red Dead Redemption, the first one never was on PC.
Yeah,
I just did a search.
Yeah, I didn't think. Like I said, I didn't think it was. So this is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and I mean, Online's going to make them a butt ton of money. It made them a butt ton of money on PC. It's going to make them a butt ton of money here. Mm-hmm. I might even get it on PC once they get the bugs and everything ironed out, because I know it's going to be bad at first.
Yeah, this is one you're definitely going to want to kind of wait and see.
Oh yeah, and once they get it all fixed up, then I might grab it on a Steam sale.
Mm-hmm. Is it coming to Steam, or is it going to be on the Rockstar launcher?
Rockstar doesn't have a launcher that I'm aware of.
Maybe I'm thinking Rockstar Store. Because one of the articles that I read had mentioned that. But
GTA 5 is on Steam. I'm 90% certain. So I imagine that Red Dead Redemption 2 will be on Steam, because I think the only big launchers out there, EA has a launcher, Ubisoft has a launcher, obviously Epic, Blizzard, and Steam are your big launchers. I don't think there's a Rockstar launcher.
There is.
Of course there
Download
is.
now and get a bonus free copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for PC until October 8th.
Ooh.
And
well,
starting
today.
starting October 9th, pre-purchase Red Dead Redemption 2 for PC on the Rockstar Games launcher. And that's on the Rockstar Games Social Club website.
Because I could have sworn I had Grand Theft Auto 5 on Steam.
I mean, and you might, they may also have a launcher, because there are, because you can get certain games on Steam as well as other launchers.
Yeah, that's true. And GTA 5 is on Steam. So, yeah, you might be able to buy it on Steam, and then it just... Because there are actually games on Steam that pop up into their own, launcher updater.
Yeah.
So that's a distinct possibility. Because I think, I talk about Steam sales. I have a problem with Steam sales. I've over the last several years, it hasn't been that big of an issue. But I'm one of those people that will buy, a bunch of games that, especially, back in 2011, 2012, that era, I probably bought the most, because it's just scrolling through that Steam sale, you're like, $2.
I would be financially irresponsible if I didn't buy this.
It's I'm kind of interested in this game. I'll drop $2 in this game. You do that on 15 games, and suddenly, you're starting to spend money.
All right, well, here's something for you. This is coming from express.uk. You can pre-order on the Epic Games Store, Green Man Gaming, The Humble Store, GameStop, and additional digital retailers starting October 23rd. Bonuses for doing this are 25 gold bars for Red Dead Online, blah, blah, blah. Plenty of platforms to buy Red Dead Redemption 2 on, with Steam being an option. But what might prove surprising for some fans is that Steam will be one of the last PC platforms to get access. Red Dead Redemption 2 for PC will be available to purchase on Steam in December.
Huh.
Potentially even behind Google Stadia.
Wow.
Which has been... because it is confirmed as one of its launch titles. So Stadia will get it in November whenever it launches. And then I guess you can get it on the Epic Games Store or GOG or any of those.
And I thought, I guess GOG, you're probably buying it to authenticate through that Rockstar
maybe
launcher.
Oh, no, not GOG, Green Man Gaming.
Or Green Man.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because I think Green Man, you usually buy it for, whenever you buy a game through Green Man... you buy a key to redeem in your launcher of choice. So if you buy it on Green Man Gaming, you're getting an Epic Game key in that case, or in that situation rather. That's usually how that works.
Yeah, that I don't know, because I'm not in that PC realm.
Because I bought games on Green Man before, where they give me codes to redeem in whatever service. So I bought Overwatch on Green Man on a sale, and I bought a bunch of Steam games on Green Man on a sale. I think I bought the rest of the Handsome Collection on Green Man on a big sale, because they had the pre-sequel, Borderlands 2, the pre-sequel, and a bunch of other stuff on Green Man for $4. So I bought it and then just redeemed the code, and then I gave the Borderlands 2 to somebody else, because I just had I already had that. Yeah.
Because of course.
Yeah, I've had Borderlands 2 for a real long time.
This PC Gamer article makes it sound like to get those bonuses you have to pre-order through the Rockstar launcher.
Huh. Yeah, we'll look into it later.
Yeah.
Moving on, though, we got gameplay for Miss Marvel and Marvel's Avengers. Looks like she actually is playing a pretty big role in the game.
So I'm wondering if the story itself is going to be a lot of jumping back and forth as pre-A-Day stuff and the 5 years later A-Day stuff, because Captain America is a playable character, but we know he dies immediately, on A-Day. That's the big thing.
Yeah, that was in the trailer.
And then Kamala Khan, her trailer is she finds evidence that what happened on A-Day may not have been what it seemed. it may not have been the Avengers' fault. It was actually
like AIM was
because she has a thumb drive and so it's her trying to convince Banner and Stark to help her, and they are very, very hesitant.
Because we got to see. I remember when it was first showed off, like in the trailer, somebody found a little clip of like young Kamala. Yeah. And they're like, hey guys, look! People were thinking like it could be a neat little nod, homage, like cameo, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then Square Enix over this last week was like,
here's a Kamala Khan trailer.
Right, like not just a cameo. Look at her in beginning.
To me, this is also super cool because this looks like she's going to be playable at launch.
Yeah.
Like she's going to be part of as opposed to just the 5 that they've said so far. So I'm wondering if maybe there will be other characters or if I'm just getting greedy.
I mean, that would be really cool. Like, I think she's going to be playable at launch because I think she's a pretty critical part of the story.
Because she's in the story, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why she's showing up. And I'm really happy about it. I love Kamala Khan. Mm-hmm. I'm really glad that she's getting some attention from Marvel, and I hope she continues to do so because she is an awesome character.
They also, in the same vein of Avengers game news, someone did an interview with one of the creative people for it who said that when asked about how long the game would be, he compared it to the Tomb Raider games that they've done. So it's like, all right, if you wanna golden path it, you're looking at 10 to 12 hours for a Tomb Raider game. But if you want to do everything, all the side missions, find everything, you could go 30 or more. So, but they're not willing to say that it's a 1-to-1 comparison. That's just kind of that's the type of game we've made before. So you could probably expect something similar. Which
it's the rough of what we're
some people are upset because they think that's too short. Other people are looking at it because this is kind of a games as a service type thing. This game just seems really weird. I'm excited to learn.
They're supposed to have like a huge multiplayer component
and
to
more
it,
like Destiny style aspects of
continuing to play with like new content
updating
coming
gear
out
and things like that. Yeah.
So we'll have to see what we get because we still just don't know very much about this game at all. Civ 6 will not have crossplay confirmed. However, it will have cross save in the cloud for every platform it's releasing on, minus PlayStation 4. Because PlayStation 4 still is not wanting to play ball. They did announce over this last week that they are officially out of crossplay beta, which again doesn't make any sense.
I mean, the only thing that I can get is like stuff when it comes to username and purchasing things in the store. But that's more of a cross-save thing because it's like, if I buy this cosmetic stuff on Xbox, but I bring my character over to PlayStation, do I still have access to that? We know with Destiny, the way it works is you have to have everything purchased. Like I can't jump in, I can't play it on Stadia and then move it over to my Xbox version where I don't have the Forsaken content or the Shadowkeep content. I won't be able to do any of that.
But you'll still have all your gear and everything.
Yeah, I'll have all my gear and stuff, but I won't be able to...
You'll be throttled because you don't have it on both.
Yeah, you won't be able to... He won't be able to do the new raid.
Yeah, I won't be able to do the new raid or certain strikes or go to certain places, things like that.
Yeah.
I'm also curious, but I am kind of curious of how that would work with like the emotes and like that cosmetic stuff that you would have to buy with silver. That's their premium currency.
All of that stuff transfers.
It does transfer?
Yep.
Okay.
Because silver, like it sticks to your character. I only know that because when I logged in on Steam just to kind of mess with it because I haven't been in there for a while.
I started a character on Xbox last night.
There you go. And whenever I synced up everything, like it told me like how much currency I have, like and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. And when I said like these are the characters that I want to be able to access on all platforms, and it had like. It listed like all my currencies and everything with it, and like all my unlocks.
So that's good, but that's something that's gonna just go by on a game by game basis, and it'll probably be a while before we really see this take effect. Like the Call of Duty game, they announced that they were gonna have crossplay out of the box.
Yeah,
and there's games already that have it, like Fortnite and Rocket League.
Yes,
but Gearbox has said that they want to have crossplay with Borderlands, but it wasn't really up to them. So now that it's now that it's there, it's just a matter of how can they, Epic Games made it sound like it was literally just a switch that can be flipped.
Yeah, because
but not every game is going to be designed in the same way.
Because that was the big story a long time ago. Whenever Sony kept talking about how crossplay is impossible. Crossplay can't happen. It's impossible. There's no way that you can set up crossplay between PlayStation and Xbox.
It's not as easy as just flipping a switch.
And I think those were literally their words. Like you can't just flip a switch and enable it. And then Epic found out with Fortnite, they accidentally put in crossplay.
Because they had the switch flipped accidentally.
They accidentally had the switch flipped, and then they unflipped that switch,
Do you think it was as easy as unflipping that switch, or
I'm sure there's some coding to it, but
no? I'd like to think it's like an outlet. It has to be. It's just.
Yeah, for all their matchmaking stuff, because they found out there were some people that were like, I was playing this game with this guy. I tried to add him as a friend, couldn't add him to anything. Did some investigating, all this other stuff, trying to talk with this guy. Found out he was on Xbox, I was on PlayStation. That was the big story that came out of Fortnite. And then it's just everybody starts looking at Sony like, it's that hard, huh? Because Xbox was all for no, we want to do crossplay. Sony's not playing ball. Mm-hmm. And Sony's like, no, it's super hard. We can't do it.
And also think of the children. That was a legitimate excuse they had. And everybody was like, oh, well.
Because the real reason, Sony had no, what's the word I'm looking for?
Incentive?
Yeah, there you go.
Because they were winning.
Sony had no incentive to do it. There was no reason for them to share their toys. They had all the toys. They didn't need to share their toys. And that's the real reason that Sony didn't want to do crossplay. It has nothing to do with how difficult it is or anything else. It was that more people had PlayStation. It actually hurt them more than helped them to do crossplay, because that means that people don't need to buy PlayStations to play with their friends on PlayStation.
Yeah, they still need to buy a PlayStation 4. The people that just had an Xbox One still needed a PlayStation 4
if they wanted to play with their friends. Yeah, and PlayStation 4 is the better selling console. More people have one. But if you want an Xbox, you can't, you have to buy a PlayStation to play with your friends. You can't buy an Xbox and still play with your friends on PlayStation. It's just the way it's always been, just not the way it's always needed to be. And I get it from a business perspective. From a consumer perspective, screw you, Sony.
Yeah. It's one of those, I want to be mean about it, meaner about it, but I'm I totally get it.
Yeah, no, like I said, it makes complete and total sense. It's a bad business decision for them.
It is capitalism at its finest.
Yeah, no, it would be a solid PR move, and that's it.
But that's not going to make me buy a PS4.
No.
Wanting to play with my friends and not being able to is what makes me want to buy a PS4.
Right. So anyway, we got we'll wrap this up here real quick, because I know we're a little bit over on time now, with a quick Pokemon news roundup.
Everything is awful?
I mean, it's not. I'm not excited for this game, so I don't know. This is the first Pokemon game ever that I'm like, eh.
See, I was super into it. I was like, oh yeah, it's coming to the Switch, and now I'm just like, I'll buy it eventually.
Right, because it's the 3DS game that looks slightly prettier than the 3DS game. This is not the console Pokemon game that I have wanted all my life.
When does it drop?
November.
Yeah, next month.
Do we have a date though? Is it late November?
I think so. But...
Yeah, we definitely have a date. I don't know what it is. November 29th is the number that's in my head.
I get paid
November 15th, 2019.
Oh, see, okay. I'll be right. My first car payment's due that week. That ain't happening. That game's not going to get bought for a couple months.
All right, so the news we got out of it. All right, so there's this big thing talking about 18 gyms in this game. There are not 18 gyms in each game. Each game has 8 gyms, and you need 8 badges to go on to the Pokemon Cup. So each game having 8, its own set of 8 gyms, still doesn't add up to 18, so I'm really confused. And I could not find any clarification on that.
Yeah, other than Game Informer had to issue a statement because they misprinted the thing about there being 18 gyms, minor league, major league.
Because they didn't even really talk about the difference in the badges you get from minor versus major. It's because it sounds a little bit like it's going to be kind of like how Sun and Moon was, where there were the 4 trials and then the 4 bosses you had to beat or something like that. I don't completely get it. But the point is, very much confirmed, you will only be collecting 8 badges. You are not going to be collecting, this is not like Pokemon Gold and Silver, you'll be having 16 badges or anything like that. 8 badges is the number you're going to have to do the Pokemon Cup stuff.
It's for it being on the Switch.
It needs to be better. And
you know how fun it would be if you get through what's this new region called?
Galar.
Galar,
whatever.
All right, you get the Pokemaster, whatever, and it's just oh, you're the Pokemon Master. You want a free trip to, I can't think of the last
Aloha?
one. Yeah.
Or not Aloha.
Alola. You want a free trip to Alola. And then that just opens that part up.
I mean, that would be pretty cool, but
there's 50 different ways you could do that, but it's just
But they're not even putting the full game on one cartridge, much less giving you another full one.
And they have proven Breath of the Wild is on Switch.
That's why, like, Breath of the Wild is the reason that everybody's so down on this game. Because it showed that, like, one, what the Switch is capable of doing.
Yeah.
And two, like, oh, this is a beloved franchise that has been around from damn near the start of Nintendo. I mean, like, Pokemon not as much, but, like, that's 1992?
For Pokemon?
Or no, 94,
Pokemon was
95?
like 95.
Yeah, 95, 96.
But still, I mean, that's 25 years of Nintendo history. It's a 25-year-old franchise that's only ever been on a handheld. Legend of Zelda, like Breath of the Wild,
obviously the Coliseum games.
Yeah, the offshoot games I'm not counting. The Breath of the Wild totally revolutionized what a Zelda game could be on the Switch, because it's the Switch. You can go between having it on a TV, having it handheld. Like, what possibilities? So now everybody's looking at all these other franchises, and Pokemon is the one that has not had any sort of real fundamental shakeup since its inception, aside from games like Coliseum and Snap and things like that. But those aren't.
Yeah, no, the core Pokemon game has been effectively the same, like minus like tweaks. HM's no longer being a thing.
It's the same game.
Yeah, but like, overall, like the core mechanics are exactly the same, with the turn-based combat, with the same sprites.
Overworld is the same. Sprites are similar. It's always 8 gyms. It's always the Elite Four, and then you go on. Like,
we will at least
Sun and Moon kind of did away with the gyms, but not really.
Yeah, they just kind of renamed them, changed the
and then added like mini games to them sometimes.
Yeah. But the like they added little like quirks, little gimmicks to each of them. But yeah, they have the wild area, which is going to be different. Like I'm not, we'll have to wait and see exactly what that's going to look like. But that's really like, and I don't like the wild area from everything we know so far is not going to be near the shakeup we expected out of a console Pokemon game.
No.
And we especially did not expect them to launch two $60 titles that are so similar to one another.
Oh, I absolutely did. I 100% assumed that was going to be the case.
I figured they were going to release 2 of them. I didn't think it was going to be $60 with like what we're getting.
No, of course it would be.
I was being optimistic. It was foolish.
Why would you do that?
I know, right? The Pokemon that have been cut from the national decks are going to return in the future, so they will not forever be gone. They'll come eventually. They confirmed autosave in the game, so that's going to be happening. You'll also have manual save, but autosave is absolutely happening. Experience share is no longer in the game. Instead, all Pokemon will share experience equally. So experience share, you gave the item to the Pokemon. They got a chunk of the experience you earned by killing it. Instead, now when you beat the Pokemon, like all of your Pokemon gain a bunch of experience.
The same,
so like
same
Pokemon
so
Let's Go.
Everyone's going to level at the same rate, which will make it, I guess, kind of interesting for whenever you go back to like wanting to train. Like, oh, I caught a whatever early in the game, but I didn't really want to use it. But now I'm at a gym it's the type advantage for, so I need to go back. But I'm already like 10 levels ahead. Like, it'll be interesting to see how they work that out. But
because I mean, you've always been able to do that with. Well, I say always. Once they added the experience share, like that was the purpose of that. Otherwise, like I remember back in the like OG times where you would have like the Pokemon you wanted leveled up
was in first.
You put it in first. You switch to your big gun, and then they had to take a hit before. One-shotting whatever you're killing.
Grinding. Yeah. To get half that experience.
So yeah, it looks like it's going to be more similar to like how Let's Go was the leveling up, and that worked.
Yeah.
HMs are not returning, so it's going to be really similar to how they did Sun and Moon, which I'm completely fine with. That was Sun and Moon. The one thing that I absolutely loved about Sun and Moon was how they got rid of the HMs. Everything about what they replaced it with was better. And then they haven't officially confirmed it's Ponyta, but they revealed Galarian Ponyta. Looks like it might be a fairy type or something like that.
It's good. It's the bluish, like it's clearly not fire, but it's also a unicorn.
Yeah.
So it's got the horn and the kind of almost galaxy-esque coloring
flowing,
to the mane.
Puffy mane kind of thing going on. That's almost certainly what it is. All right, and we're going to wrap up with Destiny 2, going back to that for a second. Peaked at over 200,000 players on day 1 on Steam.
Hey, good for them.
Yeah, so I know I logged in. I didn't log in on day 1, but like day 3 I logged in just to mess around for a minute, see what it looks like now. Especially since I got that shiny new graphics card. I wanted to see what the game looks like.
So you didn't have to FaceTime anybody to install.
I did not. Like I did that myself, and then I had to help someone else install one. Hi, Krista. She listens to these shows.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, all right, that's gonna do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for
Terminator
listening.
gameplay looked cool. They actually have the endoskeleton underneath him.
Oh yeah.
So like watching, so that's a nice touch because I was very concerned what that was gonna look like.
And then the Arnold sound-alike was bad.
Yeah.
There's no skirting around that was bad, but at least the endoskeletons in there.
That was real bad. All right, bye everybody.